establishing the band within LA. We were always in the Music Connection and all these different publications and garnering attention. We were in the Pepsi National Band Contests.
Wow.
All this stuff. And it actually led to us bumping into Dilated Peoples, Black Eyed Peas.
Hey, what's going on?
What's up, Adam?
How are you, Printz? How are you? How are you doing?
Good. Got my lemon water. I'm ready to start my day.
Right. There you go. Awesome, man. Well, I appreciate you doing this. Thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely, brother.
Sweet. Well, this is a podcast about you and your journey in music, and we'll talk about the new Parker Lane.
Okay. Well, let's go.
Cool. I saw you're born in Columbus, Ohio. Is that true?
Columbus, Ohio. Yep.
That's awesome.
Long time ago.
Okay, I have family from Cleveland, and my uncle went to Ohio State, so I've been through Columbus a few times.
Hey. Oh, wait. That's what I'm
Oh,
talking
yeah.
about.
What was it like growing up in Columbus? Obviously, Buckeyes are like the news all the time, right? Like the paper is just like the quarterback, was saw getting coffee at the local Starbucks.
Well, my version of Columbus and how I grew up was probably a little different to that because I grew up on the south side in an area called Southfield.
Okay.
And it wasn't so inundated with that. It was more a bit more regular urban life.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I have an uncle and aunt that live there, and they're like, yeah, all the news is always just about the Buckeyes, what they're doing. I'm like, oh, that's interesting.
Now, my definitely, like, I knew people that were on that buzz and stuff like that, but I'm not a big sports guy.
Okay.
But yeah, I was in the urban side.
Sure. Well, what about music? How did you get into music?
Music, that started for me. The journey started by sitting down on my grandmother's organ and whatnot. And, the one with the little beats, it had like the little salsa and merengue beats and stuff you can play. And, and then I really got into it when I started playing trumpet at 10, in school, when music was still in schools and you had to play something. So,
sure.
Yeah. Like fifth grade.
Fifth grade. I was going to say fifth grade, they kind of introduce some of that, like marching band, like orchestral instruments. At least at my school, they did. It was like you could play the flute or the clarinet or the trombone or the saxophone.
It was fourth or fifth, and you had to do it by fifth. So that's what I did.
Okay, and you picked trumpet.
Yeah,
what was the reason behind
that? Because it only had 3 valves, and I thought it was going to be the easiest.
Okay. That's funny. And you were 10. Were you still in Columbus at this time?
Oh, no. I moved from there when I was I don't know, about 12, and moved to LA. My mom got a job out this way, and so I moved to the West Coast, and that was all she wrote. Like,
okay.
I mean, I went back during the summer and hung with my grandparents, and then we would go back for Christmas for like 10 days.
Okay.
But
other than that, you're in LA. Okay.
Yeah.
That must have been quite a change, obviously, from Ohio.
Yeah. I mean, if I'm honest, like I hated it.
Really?
Yeah, because I was like I said, I was in the urban quote unquote area, and so I hadn't really seen any kind of different people other than mostly Black people and a couple Caucasians.
Okay.
So when I came out here, it was like, oh my God, there's Indians and Mexicans and all these. I was like, I don't know what to do here. I was like, I wasn't, as well traveled and cultured, as I am now. So I was, for about a year, I was confused, and I was like, I don't know what to do here. And I got in a lot of like altercations,
Sure. And I'm from San Diego. It's like I know the melting pot of Southern California for sure. And when you moved to LA, that's when you said you started playing trumpet, or you were still in Columbus? You mentioned being 12 when you moved to LA.
Yeah, I started when I was 10. So
okay, Columbus. And then when you got to Los Angeles, were you still playing trumpet?
It was interesting because when I was in Ohio, I I naturally like floated to the top. I was the band leader, I was first chair, I was doing this.
Wow.
And then I thought, well, maybe that's Columbus because I'm in Columbus. And then
Mhm.
I went to came out to the West Coast, and I was automatically like at the top. Whatever
Wow.
we did, I went at the top, and then I thought to myself, I was like, this is a whole different breed of human over here. And I'm
Right.
still at the top.
Hmm.
Interesting. Maybe this is what I should be doing for the rest of my life.
Wow. Yeah. To have that
Yeah.
validation that early on, for
Yeah.
sure. Being like, I mean, okay, I was really good here. Now I'm in a totally different part, especially Los Angeles, right? I mean,
Yeah.
where you probably hear a lot of the music comes from, and then you're playing with these kids, and you're still the top. I mean, did you continue playing trumpet like throughout middle school, high school, or did you move on to a different instrument?
Oh, I've always stuck with my trumpet.
That's
And
cool.
and my mom got me a I had a $25 trumpet all of my life while I'm in these first chair spots.
Oh my gosh.
And I didn't realize it because why would I? Like I'd never seen another trumpet. I never played another trumpet. So
You just knew your
I,
trumpet.
I knew my trumpet. And uh in 11th grade, my mom got me a new trumpet. She started working at this music store on the side, like weekends, helping this guy out, and got me a new trumpet. And man, when she gave me that, I was like, the heavens opened up. And
Really?
I could play higher, faster, softer, louder, more full, like everything was better. And I was like, whoa, what the hell? And I realized like my valves didn't even go all the way down on my $25 trumpet that I'd been playing. And I had to jam some tissue in the third valve sometimes to make it keep going. So when I got this new one, I was just like, whoa, okay, you sold me. Thanks,
Oh,
Mom.
that's awesome. Wow. Okay. And did you end up doing that? Like, I mean, obviously you probably did marching band, what, in orchestra and all that stuff while you're in school?
I did all of them, marching band, jazz band. I had to be at school because I was doing soccer and uh, um, some other sports. I had to be at school at 5 a.m. every day.
Wow.
And I would do the sports stuff. Then I would do the jazz before school started. And then I would do the marching band and the concert band during school.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. And were you always, I mean, you played obviously other instruments. Like when did you
Yeah.
start playing I mean, you talked about playing, having a keyboard kind of being the first thing you were introduced to. Like, when did you come back to piano during that time, or like when did you start kind of branching
Well,
out away from the trumpet?
uh, I would say that was in college
Oh
when
wow.
I
Okay.
got back to it because I ended up getting a scholarship. I had a scholarship for soccer and music, and I didn't do the soccer one. Um,
Oh wow.
and, but then
Gifted. Damn. Soccer
my
and music. Damn.
yeah, and I actually had a track one too, just to make things worse. Um, but no, the music one, I decided to divide it up into half classical and half jazz, and then
Mhm.
divide that up into half keys and half trumpet, because I knew that that was, a foundation of the harmony. I
Mhm.
wanted to be able to move around within the keys world. So that's when I started playing keys.
Wow. And you started at the college level. I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I
And
guess if
I don't
you
know.
know an instrument that well, I'm sure you could probably pick it up kind of easily. I mean, at least it's similar in, I guess, a little bit.
Yeah, not really.
Not really. I don't know. I'm just thinking like,
Piano's piano's
okay.
closer to drums than
Oh, is
trumpet.
that right? Okay, that shows my musical
So
skills.
it's percussive.
Okay. Okay. Wow. And what about songwriting? Was that something you did in college as well?
Interesting story there. Like basically I ended up having the best gig you could have in college. This jazz place called Jim Croce's at the time in San Diego, actually.
Oh, did you go to college in San Diego?
I went to San Diego State.
No way. That's amazing.
Yeah. Aztecs. So I had the best gig, and I was playing for 4 hours and making $60. And I went to my professors and I was like, okay, so is this it? Like this.
Right. Like is
And my I remember my keys professor, my jazz keys professor, his name was Rick. Um he uh he said, well, you have options. You could spend 4 hours playing a gig and get $60, or spend 4 hours writing a song and get paid for the rest of your life and change other people's lives. I was like, and
Seems to
that
go
was
with option
when my
two.
focus shifted. I was like, you know what? I'm pretty good at this trumpet thing. I'm gonna start this songwriting thing hardcore.
Wow. Was that a difficult shift to make? I mean, going from just playing and then now writing songs?
Not really, because I had like when I was younger, I had like a beat machine I got, and I was like trying to write songs or rap or do something. I was trying when I was younger, and I didn't know what the hell I was doing.
Mhm.
So I think it was pretty natural. It was pretty natural, and I've always been producing every situation I've been in since I was a little kid. So, so to be like, oh, you know what? We should sing this. We should play that. This should be the chords. That was pretty natural for me.
Okay. When did you start, like, did you show us, do you remember showing somebody your first song you had written, or like, was that a terrifying experience at all, or were you pretty comfortable with that?
Nah, I was pretty comfortable in that realm.
Okay.
I was pretty confident in what I knew, which at that time was more of the somewhere between Earth, Wind and Fire, Stevie Wonder, and gangster rap.
Mhm.
Some blend of that world. So I was pretty confident within it.
Okay. And were you playing with other people, or were you doing like when you wrote these songs, what were you doing with them? Were you playing them around San Diego?
Well, yeah, I started a band, and that band was called Phazz, Phazz.
Okay.
And
I was wondering if I'd know who they were, because I grew up in San Diego. So I was like, oh, I wonder what band it would be.
so yeah, I started Phazz, and that was my outlet. I was able to incorporate my trumpet playing, being melodic, my songwriting, producing, and my musical directing, like all of it.
Mhm.
It was great. We did pretty well down there, and I ended up changing the name to Gravy at one point. But we used to play the Belly Up Tavern and all the
Wow.
places down around there. Yeah.
That's cool. And did you just stay in San Diego for the 4 years you're in school?
Yeah, I was just down there. Excuse me.
Bless you.
I was down in San Diego for well, a little longer than 4 years.
Oh, okay.
I think
And
I was there about 5.5. I had a good time.
yeah, no, San Diego's great. Well, what took you back to LA? Did the band kind of fizzle out? Like, what was the next move from there?
Well, no, we did quite well, and got a bunch of different offers for record deals and whatnot. And I actually, when I was graduating around that time, I kind of broke up with my girlfriend, and I just thought that was the time. I didn't have any money. I didn't have anything to go on. I think I drove to LA with a package of bologna, a loaf of bread, and a full tank of gas. And I was
Wow.
like, yo, I'm taking my trumpet. I'm going to go around and just start playing and sitting in with all these people. And I'm going to make it happen this weekend. And I did.
Okay, so you go up there. Like, what was the first victory then once you get
Um,
there?
I played all over, but I played at this place in Venice on Winston, across from Winston's or something. I can't remember the name of it now, but and met this cat, DJ Honda. And DJ Honda took me under his wing, me and my cousin, and housed us, fed us for the weekend. And then we just kind of built our thing from there.
Wow. And then you eventually wrote songs and worked with, Black Eyed Peas, and you have all Grammy and all these other massive achievements that ended up coming. Was that like, was it just years of working up there and finally meeting people, or?
Yeah, I mean, I continue with my band. We found a home up within LA, and then I met this band called Stepchild. They were on Warner Brothers, and I ended up working with them, living with them, and establishing the band within LA. We were always in the Music Connection and all these different publications, and garnering attention. We were in the Pepsi National Band Contest.
Wow.
All this stuff, and it actually led to us bumping into Dilated Peoples, Black Eyed Peas.
Oh damn, I love Dilated Peoples.
Playing, Jurassic 5.
Oh wow.
Ozo. We were all playing around town, and then there came a point when Interscope was looking at Gravy. They were looking at Black Eyed Peas, and decided to sign Black Eyed Peas. And then they, meaning the management and Will or whatnot, reached out to me to anchor the musical arm of that.
Wow.
So it was kind of it was an amalgamation of the two that became Black Eyed Peas.
That's crazy. That must have been so like, and then to see the success of those songs just go nuts. I mean, Black Eyed Peas are one of the biggest artists there, are right now, obviously. And then to have that success, was that pretty, tell me about some of those songs like that, like doing something early and you're like, whoa, like I can't believe that this happened or whatever.
Well, I mean, it wasn't a shoe-in, with the Peas. It was still quite hard work, after the first album, and doing some tours and having a little bit of success. And I mean, like, I think we sold 200,000 copies of the first album, something like that, initially. So,
which now would be like a #1 record.
Yeah. But it was rough. Like, we thought, okay, this is fun, and we've kind of traveled the world, but we still only have $50 in our pocket, and what are we doing? Like, we almost didn't even do the second album.
Whoa.
Yeah. And then we ended up doing it, but it wasn't until the third album, that it really became a thing, where it became real. Like, everybody went from, okay, we're just like, we're b-boying and we're like hanging out, we got a bunch of girls, or oh great, to like, actually we need to say something, and we need to do something. And Will and I actually left the band in 2000, and I went and did Nika Costa and some Macy Gray stuff and different things. And it was because we were kind of bumping heads, Will and I, and I left, but then we called each other. I'm gonna say that he called me. He might say that I called him. But and then it was like, we talked about the confusion. We're like, oh, I thought you said, oh, I thought you did. Well, they said, oh, that, oh my God, really? We're like, oh, okay. All these people, and they're like Chinese whispers got in between us.
Right. And
so then we're like, let's get together. And then basically the first song we wrote was Where's the Love?
Wow.
We got back together. And then that's the trajectory. That's where we are.
And then Fergie joins in at that point, right? She came in on the third record.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she came in on the third record.
Wow. I mean, that's insane to have. I mean, to see, that song Where's the Love was just, yeah, that kind of catapulted, and then
Mhm.
you'd see Black Eyed Peas everywhere.
I mean, and that was, to take it back to the beginning, that was what my piano teacher was talking about, that song. And we wrote that
Sure.
song. I say 15 minutes. Will says 30 minutes, but we wrote that song pretty quickly, and for it to do what it did, ultimately, it was like, wow, that changed my whole perspective on everything.
Mhm. Yeah, exactly what your piano teacher said. It was like you can do, 4 hours a night and get $60, so you could write a song and not only change people's lives, but make money the rest of your which is like
Exactly.
the ideal situation. Wow. Do you stay in contact with that teacher at all or no?
No, I've definitely thought about him quite a lot, but I haven't kept in contact.
Okay. Yeah, that'd be interesting to be like, yeah, remember you told me
Mhm.
this? These songs
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
came out of that. That's
yeah.
crazy.
No,
Well, tell me about Parker Lane. When did this start?
Parker Lane was born out of, so I'll give you a little bit of the back, and it'll
Okay.
make more sense. Through doing all of the P's stuff,
Hmm.
we started to get bigger, 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 bigger. And then it just, for me, became this kind of just a corporate thing, where it was like, okay, are we playing music, or now we are like Coca-Cola, like, so
Oh, sure.
kind of lost a bit of the thing for me personally. So um
Well,
we
that could happen, obviously. I mean, when an artist is up here, everybody wants to get on board, right?
well, yeah, and we're playing stadiums back to back nights and
That's
stuff.
crazy.
I mean, I was just like, I started not seeing my friends. Everyone was traveling, flying in separate. We'd see each other like backstage for the huddle. Then we go on stage and then not see each other after sometimes. I don't know.
Mhm.
No. So we ended up taking a break. And during that break, I found that I had lost I'd lost my kind of confidence as an artist, as a front person, as a whatever I had done in gravy prior to. And like, I just got smaller and smaller. Literally, the stages got bigger and bigger, and the musicians kept getting pushed farther and farther back to, at one point, we were behind a curtain for half the show. And
Wow.
so, it does something to your spirit, and it breeded a lot of insecurity in myself, to like, damn, can I even go there anymore? But I ended up working with Kim.com, which a lot of people think is a bad phrase, but I ended up working with Kim.com on music. And he doesn't sing or anything, so I ended up doing a batch of work with him that I was singing and demoing out and blah, blah, blah. And I looked up and I was like, wow, these are a group of songs that he didn't want to use that I'm singing on. Maybe I should start doing my thing again. So then I kind of started doing my thing as Printz Board. Then I did another record as Printz Board, and the board members did quite well in the iHeartRadio contest, and took it to my people that I know as my confidants and people through the P's, put it on the desk, slid it across, and they're like, oh, this stuff is great. This is great. And they're like, who are you going to get on these songs? Like, who are these songs for? And I'm like, what do you mean, who are these songs for? These are me.
Hmm.
But I realized at that point, like, my tone, my vibration, like all this stuff was all P's. That's all I knew for
And
however
you're
many
probably being known as a songwriter, right? Because
people knew
you're
me as
writing
the
these
keyboard
hits,
player, the songwriter.
yeah,
Yeah.
and not the artist, so to speak, in the band.
Right. And I'm walking, anybody listens to this thing, it's like you walk into a different world, a different career, a different path, but you're still wearing the same clothes.
Hmm.
They're going to look at you and see you as that thing, the prior thing. They're not going to see that you've changed or you're going a different direction. So I literally ended up throwing out all my clothes in my closet, not throwing them out. Nobody come after me for that. I put them on eBay. I gave some away. I took some to Goodwill. You know, I did the things.
Got rid of them responsibly.
Yeah, got rid of them responsibly. And then I changed that. And then I started walking in rooms and people started to notice a difference, a different me. Still, I took that project to a place where it plateaued. You know, I was doing stuff like Lenny Kravitz-ish. It was like Cage the Elephant meets Lenny Kravitz meets Black Keys or something in this world. And then my team at that time was like, you know, we need to do something to get more traction. So you need to do covers. And the first thing one of them, somebody said was like, do a Justin Bieber cover or something on Friday, like do covers on Fridays, Justin Bieber. I was like, I'm not doing Justin Bieber. Love Justin. Like we good homies. Yo, bro, go. But I'm not covering Justin Bieber. And
and were these guys, just real quick, are these for like YouTube or like what were they asking you to cover them for?
Yeah, YouTube.
Okay.
So you know, so then people that are searching for a new Justin Bieber would land on your
see your it. Okay.
And so, which is, you know, it's a good plan for some people. A lot of people did SMA and different people, artists, like it worked for them, but I wasn't doing that. So I decided to cover I Will Wait by Mumford & Sons.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And normally when I do a song, you know, you may write it quickly, but the production of it takes a little time. So say normally you write a song that takes 4 days to a week of production. We sat down, we learned the song and recorded it probably within 10 to 15 minutes.
Wow.
And then I mean, it's a cover, it's already written, right? So
right, but still, I mean, to do it that quick. So
we do that and we send it to some people and they're like, oh my God, what is this? I can't believe it. And I'm like, okay. Like it's just covered I Will Wait. Oh
right.
My God. I get to hear your voice. It's so clear. It's so simple. It's so. And so my partner at the time, Lucy Graves, she sang on it with me as well. And then we had our guitarist, and she's like, well, maybe we should write some songs like this. And this vein, like, and people like really like it like that. And so basically from that point, Parker Lane was born. We went out to Joshua Tree. I got a little house, and then I wrote the very first song for Parker Lane, which was Little White House. And I mean, from there, it's like, I don't know what happened. I wrote that. I was sitting down, and I just felt like again, like with my trumpet earlier, you know, the heavens opened up, and it's like, oh, wow, I can actually just tell a story. I can talk. I can sing. I don't have to like over sing or try to, you know, over popify it. I can just tell my story that I want to say. And it's, I loved it. So I wrote like, I don't know, 12 songs in a week, 2 weeks.
Wow.
It's just like, I think we might have written over about 40 songs, like 40 or 50, like just starts. And I was like, wow, this is it. And then I sent it to my publishers, Atlas Publishing at the time, Richard Stumpf, and they just started playing it over and over in the office, jumping up and down. They were so excited. So that's Parker Lane.
Wow. What year was that? Like 2018? I was just going off what your Spotify.
16, actually, I think.
16. Oh, okay.
17. Does it say 18 on Spotify? Maybe.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. Oh no, 16 was the first record.
Okay, yeah, 16.
Album. I was looking at Replay. My bad.
Yeah.
Okay, so that comes out, people are loving it, and then do you try to do, you know, kind of repeat what you had done as far as the recipe goes with the Black Eyed Peas? Are you going on tour and trying to do anything like that?
We did. I've been doing different things like South by Southwest and shows here and there. But with Parker Lane, it was more of a I just want to play and I just want to sing these stories.
Mhm.
That's it. Like it was not goal oriented. Neither of us was looking to be the next
It
big
was
thing
just, yeah, it was just something
to
you were doing for
release.
yourself.
Yeah. And then speaking of replay, Lucy Graves went on to do some other things, and then I brought in another vocalist and felt like it was interesting. I felt like in the beginning, like I definitely needed Lucy. I couldn't have done it without her.
Mhm.
And then when we got to replay, I felt a little stronger and a little more confident in who I was. And so then I did the replay. And then now with the current album, there's less of a female vocal presence. And I feel, like I'm standing tall. I got my chest out and confident, like, okay, I'm there. This is me and this is what I'm doing. And now I'm ready to, take over and travel the world and go big and play those arenas and stadiums. And I'm back now.
Okay. Now you have yeah, for sure. So now it's more like you're all in on this as far as like you feel like you have like you just said, your
Yeah.
chest is out, you're ready to go. And so
Yeah.
the idea for this album then moving forward is just this is gonna be you're gonna tour it and do everything like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm doing like proper videos
Yeah, I've
for it.
seen the video, a couple of video, or at least the video, one of the videos that you did, How You Feel, I think it was.
Oh, you saw How You Feel?
Yeah, I got a copy of it a little early.
Oh. Oh. Oh, nice.
Yeah, no,
I
it's
haven't seen
awesome.
that one yet.
Yeah, so I got a chance to check that out, and I love what you're doing. I think that's so rad. That's why I was shocked that it was when hearing you say that it was kind of just like a passion project in the beginning, because I felt like
Yeah,
I didn't know if it was always like this, where you're
yeah,
at now as far as where you're looking at it.
yeah. It definitely was, but now it's not one of the eggs in the basket. It's like the egg.
Mhm. Prior to that, were you still writing with other people, or I mean, are you still doing that?
I'm still doing that. Yeah, I
Oh,
still
okay,
can't I can't get away from wearing those hats, a
sure.
producer, songwriter, musician. I still do sessions with people. Like I'm also getting into film and TV. Um,
As far as like scoring or like actually
like
directing and
writing and directing.
interesting. How do you like
Um,
that?
oh, I love it. I love it.
Is that where
Just
the music video ideas are coming from? Are you writing those?
yeah, I am. I'm writing the
Oh,
music video ideas, and I mean, no pride in doing it by myself. I just love that world. I have a facility now, a sound stage in
wow.
Burbank, and I'm doing everything, all my music out of there, and any videos and stuff I'm doing out of there. I shot this video, how you feel there.
Oh, you did?
So, mhm,
Wow. Okay.
I love it.
That's amazing. Was there like a or like something that, kind of clicked, or a moment that you were like, this is what you, like you said, all your eggs are in that basket now. Was there something
Yeah.
that made that a reality for you, or
The film and TV thing you're speaking of?
no, just Parker Lane in general? Because you were
Oh,
talking about how it's kind of like
yes.
now you're ready for it to just be you're all in on it.
Well, I think it was really the fact that I I was just like tired of fucking around, to be honest.
Yeah, yeah.
And I said to Jamie, my assistant, and I said, can you find out who produced these records? Like the Lumineers and Vance Joy and this
Mm.
stuff. And she did some digging, and she said, well, seems to be pretty consistent. This guy, Ryan Hadlock. And I said, I'm doing my next record with Ryan. And and she said, okay. And I said, so call him, get in contact with him. I don't know how you're going to do it, but just do it and tell him that that's what we're doing. And so she got in contact and he was like super busy and said, you know, I think it might have been January or something. And he said, oh yeah, we can meet in August or something.
Oh, wow. It's like I'm booked up for 8 months.
Yeah. And I was like, no, this is what you're going to do. You're going to go back to him and you're going to tell him that I'm going to fly up to Seattle and have lunch with him because everybody's got to eat.
Oh,
And
smart.
I said, and I can do that whenever, tomorrow, next week. So I think it was a few days later that I just flew up there, had lunch with him. By the end of lunch, we didn't even play any music. We almost forgot to play the music because we were just talking and we bonded so well. He was like, okay, I'm in, I'm doing it.
Wow.
And so we ended up, co-producing this whole new record. So you hear those influences because it's the same studio where Lumineers and those guys did their record. It's him. So it's in there.
That's awesome. And it's I don't want to drop the name if it hasn't been mentioned yet, but of the record.
Oh no, you can, Kaleidoscope.
Yeah, okay. I didn't since you're like that video isn't even out. I'm like, oh, okay, like I don't know if like any of the information.
Nah, it's cool. I'm not precious like that. I'm not
okay.
I want everything to be real and above board all the time.
I love it. So Kaleidoscope is do you have a release date for it? And are you talked about wanting to support it as far as the tour goes? Like, do you have all those plans?
Release date is January 27th, 2023.
Okay. Coming up. Yeah. Wow. What, a week and next Friday or 2 weeks? Yeah, 2 weeks, I think. I'm bad with that.
So that's the release date, and definitely have plans to get wild, hit the road, do some things from London to New York to Denver to LA, just we want to globify this. And I got to get down to my people in New Zealand. That is my second home. I love them.
Oh,
so
cool.
I'll be down there, and New Zealand, Australia, Australasia.
That's amazing, man. Well, I can't wait to hear the whole record. I've heard a handful of songs from it and I love it. I love what you're doing. That's really cool to hear that. Now I can kind of put it together as far as like having that person produce the record as well. I'm like, oh, okay. Now I can kind of hear his flair in there as well.
It's like people say that they hear, people say that they hear, it's like the Lumineers meets the Peas meets Soul.
Sure. No, that's a great example. Yeah, no, I totally agree. Well, thank you so much, Printz, for doing this, man. I have one more quick question. I want to know if you have any advice for aspiring artists.
I think in general, what aspiring artists need to do is not stop. What they need to do is stay focused. I don't know how many artists give up at the tipping point. That's a classic book that everyone should read, The Tipping Point. And I see it all the time. Like, I just can't. It's like, that's the point when you need to say, yes, I can. And also, I would say that I see a lot of artists afraid of the future. And I would say, don't be afraid of the future. Don't be afraid of technology. Don't be afraid of or talk shit about the next person who's, oh man, I'm doper than they are. No, you're not actually, because you're not doing it. You may think you're more talented, but where's the business side? Where's the marketing side, the self-promotion side? Where's all that other stuff? It's not just because you know how to sing a song or you know how to rap a song. There's so many other layers to it. Your team is so important. So I know it's hard to get a team. It's hard to come up with these ideas sometimes. So a lot of people will lean on that. But it's actually not that hard if you implement another book, which is called Atomic Habits, and you just do 1% at a time. 1% at a time, and you'll look up and you'll have 25%. Instead of waiting for 100% and, you know, the gift from God, the pot of gold, that's not coming. You'll wait for it for 5 years instead of just doing 1%. And if you just start and walk, you will get there.
Bringing it backward.